Are you confused about all of this? We call it health insurance, and we tailor your health insurance to fit you. Do you really want health insurance that fits someone else? Our health insurance plans can cost less than this bottle of water. Again, do you really want someone else's health insurance plan? We've helped thousands find the right plan, and we'll help you too. We also help you keep your doctor. Call now, ** enroll me from any smartphone, or just call my office, 756-6686.
First of all, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here to this special day. It's always an exciting day for me, and I'm proud. I get a little anxious about as I look around, but I'm so proud to be a part of this each particular year, Veterans Day as well as Memorial Day. But I want to thank you, Ms. Croson, for right at the last second. She had a little situation. Thank you for playing as well. And then we have our son singing the national anthem in just a few minutes as well. We're here today for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is to recognize those veterans. We had a wonderful recognition of the Tuskegee Airmen. We had a great program. I want to thank all those involved with that program. And you'll see in front of us, what you see here is something that's going on our bypasses as well as some other areas. But thank you for what a great program that Dean and Buddy put together. Let's give them a round of applause. Would you please stand for the posting of the colors, Pledge of Allegiance, National Anthem, and then the invocation. Please stand. Color guard. Opposed, color.
Colors reverse. March. Present. Colors.
Ms. Harriet Claxton will now come and will do the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the American Creed. Ms. Claxton.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you look on the inside of your program and read with me the American Creed? I believe in the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the government, a democracy and republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrifice their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe in my duty to my country, to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies.
And I'd like Christian Corson to come and sing our national anthem.
Present. Colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
set, colors.
Color. Whoop. Ready. Post.
We appreciate all of you being here, for those standing in the back and doing the other things. We just thank each one of you. There's always a situation where we recognize our veterans, and in the past there's been times when some people say, well, you didn't call each branch of the service or each particular Korean, Vietnam, World War II. But that's what I take on. I think we're all veterans, regardless of which war or which battle we may have fought. So I always ask all the veterans to stand instead of naming them by their particular war or their particular branch of the service. So, will all veterans please stand and remain standing? We have many people who support, but I would like the families of each veteran to stand alongside their particular veteran. Please stand, families. Thank you, veterans. You may be seated. And I want to thank each veteran here today for those who serve with me as well. And the other two words is I want to hear well done. So well done to all of you and all your service as well. So thank you and well done. We have some very special people here with us today. And if you'll pause, I want to recognize a few of those people. If you just stand and give us a little quick wave, I appreciate it. Former Director William Edgar. Where's Mr. Edgar at? There he is, back here. Congressman J. Roy Rowland. Thank you, Congressman. Chairman of our County Commissioners, Buddy Adams. Also County Commissioner Tommy Daniels. Chamber Director, Ms. Willie Falk. Scott Thompson, our historian. Dr. Frank Jordan. And a volunteer that's dear to my heart, continues to volunteer, was recognized earlier, but Gus Albritton, where's Gus? There's a lot of other people as well, World War II veterans here today. We got some few people. Go ahead and recognize those people.
Also wanted to recognize and thank Warner Robins Air Force Base and their commanding general, Brigadier General Walter Lindsley, and his command staff, Colonel Christopher Hill, Colonel Sherman Silverman, and Command Sergeant Stephen Trotter. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's always good to have someone supporting you. Ms. Claxton reminded me we will have the invocation right after this, so sorry. That one's gagged. 100 years old, we have a World War II veteran, Purple Heart recipient, Arthur Afterall here. Where is Arthur at? Well, somebody, there he is right here. Let's give this young man a round of applause. We have another World War II veteran who is a former mayor, optometrist, and a World War II ambassador for all those who have served with him as well. Dr. Lester Porter, right here. And his son, DeBose Porter, who's very supportive not only of his father, but other happenings in our community. So thank you, Representative. This just doesn't happen without a lot of planning. A lot of people in this community, we take our Veterans Hospital and those who work countlessly behind the scenes supporting our veterans. Dean Swan, there he is. We want to thank him. Associate Director Katie Worth. Right out in front of us here is a gentleman who takes all kind of photos, does so many support behind us doing. Greg Schwartz. And the lady who keeps most of us straight, Miss Cissy Jones. Where's Miss Cissy at? There she is. There are others among the VA, and any staff member of the VA, and so many of these veterans are treated very special each day, and they go from one area to the other. And so if you would, if you're another veteran, will you raise your veteran support team out here at the VA hospital? Raise your hand, please. I see so. We also have County Administrator Brian Rogers here as well. He was here earlier. Once again, thank each one of you for your support from behind the scenes as well. At this time, we will have our invocation by Chaplain Cash. Chaplain Cash.
May we pray. God of compassion, God of dignity and strength, watch over the veterans of the United States in recognition of their loyal service to our nation. Bless them with wholeness and love. Shelter them, heal their wounds, comfort their hearts, and grant them peace. God of justice and truth, rock of our lives, bless our veterans, these men and women of courage and valor, with a deep and abiding understanding of our profound gratitude. Protect them and their families from loneliness and want. Grant them lives of joy and bounty. May their dedication and honor be remembered as a blessing from generation to generation. May you bless our veterans. May you bless our VA, our leadership of this country, and God bless America. Blessed are you, protector and redeemer, our shield and our stronghold. In the name of the Almighty, we pray. Amen.
Amen. If we have any Gold Star mothers in attendance, would you please stand? We've in the past had several who've attended, and we always want to recognize those mothers, those Gold Star mothers. We have a special presentation today by the Hillcrest Elementary School. They conducted a Veterans Day poem competition, and we'd like to have the winner of the contest read her poem to you. I would like to introduce Michelle, or Michael, and Angela Souders from Hillcrest Elementary. Are they here? Oh, there she is. I'm so sorry. But before she comes forward, guess what this Hillcrest Elementary School was doing this morning during the previous service? They were upstairs handing out cards and visiting with our veterans in this hospital. That's really something special. One other group, if you remember the Tuskegee Airmen group that's out of Warner Robins, I know the president and the past president's here. Would you raise your hand? They were here earlier. I forgot to recognize the Tuskegee. There we are. Read your poem. As she's, oh, you got a microphone over there. Okay. As you getting ready there, the Brigadier General and Mrs. Walter Lindsay from the base attendees, would you raise your hand, please? We got some. There we are. All right. Thank you very much for being here. And we got some other ladies in the Air Force as well from Warner Robins Air Force. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Lizzie Radford. I go to school at Hillcrest Elementary. I'm in 5th grade, and I have written a poem in honor of our veterans. This is for our veterans who are jumping from the sky and riding in the tank, we all give our greatest thanks. For the men and women who stood brave and strong, I know together and forever we will never fall. For people giving their lives and fighting in the war, there's nothing more to say than you take my breath away. Thank you, my friends, for protecting my country to the happy end. Veterans, V is for victory, E is for every freedom, T is for triumph, E is for eternally brave, R is for resolute, A is for awesome, and N is for never alone.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. As I spoke to our volunteers banquet after the Vietnam moving wall was here, one of the highlights for me during those 3.5, 4+ days that it was actually here was Friday morning. And you say, well, why Friday morning? Well, in America, I hope lies within these young people here and others as they. There was over 3,000 students came that Friday morning. You know, I have in my pocket a cell phone. Each one of them probably had a cell phone. But as they came through, there was no texting. There was no jousting, pushing, shoving. They were very reverent. And as they went down the wall, many of them etched a name, and they were going back, and they were writing an article about the wall. And I thank those teachers who were going to give them an A+ into their final grade to average in. So I think we need to give all of our young people that are here today, again, a round of applause, as well as those others. Thank you. In just a second, I'm going to turn the program over to our Associate Director here, Jay DeWorth, at the VA Hospital. But I want to say a little bit about him, about the support that he gave us during the Vietnam moving wall. He was at almost every one of our meetings in the last 3 or 4 weeks there, and was a very integral part of planning the success of how the VA, as well as other VA members. But Associate Director Jay DeWorth did an outstanding job, and he made sure that whatever we needed from the VA hospital, along with others, that we got it done. So, Jay, thank you. At this time, I'll let him come in and introduce our special speaker.
Good morning. To the veterans of the audience and active duty members of services, thank you for your service to our country. Today I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Colonel Reginald G.A. Neal. Colonel Neal is from Ludowici, Georgia. He graduated from Georgia Military College in 1989, where he was commissioned as a second lieutenant. His education includes a bachelor's degree from Georgia Southern University, a master's degree from the Citadel, a second master's degree from the U.S. Army War College, education specialist and doctoral degrees from Argosy University. Colonel Neal has served in every tactical and operational level of the military and has served on numerous strategic level national defense committees. These include the Combat Vehicle Task Force, the Field Artillery Advisory Committee, as the Battalion Commander Subcommittee Chairman, Battle Intelligence Officer, Fires Battalion Executive Officer, Division Rear G3 Operations Officer, and Division Battle Major during combat operations and Chief of Operations. He assumed command of the 1st Battalion, 118th Field Artillery Regiment in August 2007. While his battalion was deployed to Afghanistan, he served as the commander of Joint Task Force, Kabul. He subsequently assumed a 2nd Battalion command, the Georgia Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Battalion. Colonel Neal is currently assigned as the G3 Operations Officer of the Georgia National Guard. Colonel Neal's awards and decorations include 2 Bronze Star Medals, the Joint Service Commendation Medal, 4 Meritorious Service Medals, 2 Army Commendation Medals, 3 Army Achievement Medals, the Army Reserve National Achievement Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the Armed Forces Reserve Medal with Silver Hourglass, the Army Service Ribbon, the Army Overseas Service Ribbon for both Iraq and Afghanistan campaign, the Meritorious Unit Citation, and the Presidential Unit Citation. Colonel Neal is a member of several social and civic organizations, including the Chatham Artillery, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Eagles Fly Fishing Club, Rocks Incorporated, the American Legion Post number 160 out of Smyrna, Georgia, and is a life member and senior vice commander of VFW Post numbers 5408 Ackworth, Georgia. Colonel Neal now lives in Dallas, Georgia. Please welcome Colonel Reginald Neal.
I'm going to have to shorten my bio. I get nervous, and the whole time he's reading, I'm thinking, please don't mess up. Please don't mess up when you get up there. But also, Sergeant Major, next time if I'm ever invited to speak again, you have to put me at the beginning of the program, because I have a bad habit of feverishly taking notes and changing my speech at the last minute. So I have these notes everywhere, and I just don't know what I'm going to say, so I'm just going to talk. But first of all, I'd like to recognize General Lindsay, colonels, councilmen, congressmen, members of the Tuskegee Airmen Association. Dean Swan put this together, but I will always know him as Sergeant Major Swan. He was my command sergeant major when we served together doing his last assignment with the Georgia Guard. I want to thank the town of Dublin and the Carl Vinson Medical Center for seeing fit to honor veterans with this ceremony today. Not only have you invested the time and effort to properly recognize our country's veterans, you have also given additional acknowledgement to the achievements and sacrifices made by 3 of your own, who proudly found a way to serve this country in spite of insurmountable obstacles. I'm speaking of the Tuskegee Airmen, who proudly represented the people of Dublin and our entire nation. As they were reading the history of the Tuskegee Airmen, and as we go through today and we talk about the sacrifices of our veterans, I think it's important for everyone to acknowledge, especially young people, that know that all of these people that we're talking about that may appear famous, may be colonels and generals, and may have achieved different things in their life, they all started out in everyday America. They all started out in small towns like Dublin and other places across. So I say all that to say that you can achieve anything you want. You have to decide where you want to go, and then you determine how to get there. You never let your current circumstances determine your place in life. Decide where you want to be, and then find a way to get there, just like the people that we talked about today. As a current member of the Armed Forces, I'm tremendously grateful to those of you who did not consider it robbery to attend this ceremony organized for the purpose of recognizing our veterans, those who gave so much to our country. There is no better place to celebrate Veterans Day than here at the Carl Vinson Medical Center. This center has a long history of providing care to those who served our country. I'm from a large, sprawling metropolitan city south of Savannah. Big town, many of you may have heard of it, down in Long County, called Ludowici. Maybe it just seemed big when I was growing up there as a little boy. Warren County, Long County have a few things in common, but one of the main things is you don't want to speed through either one of them. I shared with my mother that I was going to give a speech here at the VA in Dublin, and she told me that years ago my grandfather, a World War II veteran, Sergeant Alonzo Baker, would make the trip from Ludowici to Dublin to come to receive treatment here at the medical center after he returned from the big war. Knowing this made me especially proud to be here today. The sacrifice of my grandfather's generation and those that have served after him and with him have made this nation what it is today. We will never forget their sacrifice. Retired General, former Secretary of State Colin Powell said in 1989 in his speech on Veterans Day at Arlington that this nation owes a great debt to its veterans. Those who serve the nation spans every decade, every year, every day of our nation's existence. Through untold courage and sacrifice, American veterans have secured the liberty which the Founding Fathers sought hard to establish in this new world. Whenever and wherever the nation is called, in times of darkness and danger, as well as in times of peace and prosperity, veterans have been there. Veterans have proudly carried the torch of liberty for all to see. Through the centuries, America has been a symbol to the world, a symbol of a higher ideal. Millions of people around the world still look to America for the hope and promise of something better. And just as the nation has depended on its veterans in the past to fulfill that hope and secure that sacred promise, we shall surely depend on them as we move into a challenging but bright future. We will never forget. As a soldier who has gone off to war on more than one occasion, I want you to know that Veterans Day is much more than simply knowing that some nameless, faceless people signed up to serve our country. It's about taking the time like we're taking today in the effort to fully understand that those who volunteered were real people. They are our sons, our daughters, mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers. They are your neighbors, and most of them you will never know personally. But you should understand that in spite of them not knowing you, they made a decision to possibly sacrifice their life for each one of us. It's about real families who endured days, months, and years of being separated from their loved ones. Families who sacrifice so much and it's the families also who have sacrificed, these families sacrificed so much when their sailors, soldiers, airmen, and Marines went off to serve our country. You know, I heard a saying one time, it read, there's only one thing that's harder than being a soldier, and that's loving one. The story of every veteran contains a footnote or a reference of a family member who supported that veteran. You know, I'm blessed and fortunate to have made it to the rank of colonel as a general here and some others, and no matter where you made it, even veterans understand that we wouldn't be where we are today if not for the love and sacrifice of our families. You know, there's a saying in Georgia, you know, it involves a turtle on a fence post. See, if you're ever on a country road and you see a turtle on a fence post, you might not know how he got there, but one thing's for sure, he didn't get there by himself. I've been in the military for 27 years. I've been a member of the American Legion for over 2 decades and a member of the VFW since I got back from Iraq in 2003. My father's a Vietnam vet, and he taught me at an early age the importance of being involved in service organizations such as the USO, the VA, VFW, and American Legion. He also taught me at a young age the importance of saying, welcome home to those Vietnam vets who didn't get it when they returned home. And thank you for your service to all veterans. He taught me to be involved and participate in solemn ceremonies like this, which recognizes the service that so many gave to our country. I believe these ideals are particularly important today when Americanism is needed the most. We should support organizations such which espouse patriotism and remembrance to those who are willing to make the sacrifice. There's nothing wrong with being proud to be an American. I challenge each of you to continue to recognize those who served our country. The gift of freedom provided by our nation's veterans is enjoyed 365 days a year. So extend your gratitude to them for 364 more after today. Never forget. I've had the honor and privilege of leading our nation's troops overseas. I also served as a recruiting battalion commander. And one thing I learned in recruiting during wartime is that enlistment incentives, the things that they give you to join the military are nice, but make no mistake, there's no amount of college benefits equivalent to laying down your life in the love of your country. No man ever volunteered to die for the ones he loved on the promise of a VA loan. That's why I have so much respect for those who are serving today. Everyone in the military in today's service is either enlisted or re-enlisted during the time of war, with the full knowledge of knowing that they may be called upon to serve in a combat zone. Just like previous generations, they do so because they believe in something greater than themselves. Therefore, when they have finished their service to their country, we need to make sure every effort made possible to give them everything that is due to them in a timely manner. And that they also be shown the respect and appreciation for doing what 98% of other people in this country weren't willing to do. They raised their hand and solemnly swore to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know, during the Tuskegee Airmen ceremony, before then there was a veteran, I don't know if he's still here, he sang a song that really moved me. And the kids sang in the choirs. I say all that to say is, as I get older, I find myself becoming more like the old veterans I knew growing up. You know, they always seem to be crying all the time. But I understand that now, having been overseas and having seen other countries. And it's a feeling of pride it's a feeling of giving something to this generation that they don't really know what you gave them yet until they have to go serve and defend it. And I want to say that I received that today from this program, even sitting up here on stage preparing to give a speech. When you see poems being read by young people and taking the time out of their busy schedule not to stay home on a day off to watch TV and be involved in other things, but it's very impressive when you see young people take the time to come recognize those who gave their country. And you may not understand it all now, but it means a great deal, and you are learning a lot from it, even if you don't know it. I want to thank you all for the opportunity to be a part of this Veterans Day ceremony. Hopefully you have gained an understanding of what those that have served our country, that those who have served our country, more than just names, and more than just, they are real people, and they have real lives, and they have made real sacrifices. I want to say to all the veterans here, thank you for your service, and happy Veterans Day. God bless America.
After hearing his bio and having an opportunity to read earlier, one time he was a little elementary person out of Little Whiskey, and look what he's become today. So he's one of those leaders that have carried on the tradition. So thank you for those words of wisdom, those words of thanking those who have served, and excellent job. We really appreciate you for your service. Thank you. Now we'll have a special presentation from our school. They're going to do it from the Dublin Junior ROTC. Would y'all come forward and do your flag holding ceremony duties?
The flag holding ceremony represents the same religious principle on which our country was originally founded. The portion of the flag denoting honor in the canton of blue containing the stars representing the states all veterans served in uniform. The canton field of blue stretches from left to right and is invariably draped as a pall on a casket of a veteran who has served our country in uniform. In the armed forces of the United States, at the ceremony of retreat, the flag is lowered, folded in a triangle fold and kept under watch throughout the night as a tribute to our nation's honored dead. The next morning it is brought out and, at the ceremony of reveille, run low as a symbol of our belief in the resurrection of the body.
Left and right. Haste.
The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in the eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing our ranks who have a portion of life for the defense of our country to attain a peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature. For as an American citizen trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country. For in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our hearts that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The sevenfold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through our armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all her enemies, whether they be found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eightfold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day, and to honor mother, for whom it flies on Mother's Day. The ninefold is a tribute to womanhood, for it has been through their faith, love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of the men and women who have made this country great have been molded. The tenfold is a tribute to Father, for he, too, has given his sons and daughters for the defense of our country since they were first born. The elevenfold, in the eyes of a Hebrew citizen, represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies, in their eyes, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The twelvefold, in the eyes of a Christian citizen, represents the emblem of eternity and glorifies, in their eyes, God the Father, the Son, and Holy Ghost. When the flag is completely folded, the stars are upmost, reminding us of our national motto, "In God We Trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms we enjoy today.
Left and right. Haste. Forward. Heart.
We have a special, I'm looking forward to this group to my right, your left, coming and singing for us. And I think Ms. Carol Thomas and others are responsible for this Hillcrest Elementary School. So, Carol, would you bring your group forward?
When I lay my head down every night
I was, good job of directing them. Thank each one of these special young people and Miss Carol and those who supported her at Hillcrest Elementary. Thank you. And TV 35 for always supporting us and promoting this as well. And thank each one of you, news media, for what a job you do.